All right, welcome, Carlie. I'm so excited that you're on here for our Spotlight series for the Best of Utah in Public Health. And so we're just going to jump right in. I'm going to read your bio here so that everyone knows who you are, and then we'll get to answering all those fun questions.
Awesome.
Okay. Carlie Diedricksen is a wife and mother of five beautiful children. She loves reading fiction, going out with friends, listening to true crime podcasts, spending time with her family, and sharing her passions for all things birth related. Carlie has been a doula for 3.5 years and has attended over 75 births. She began photographing births in 2022 and has loved every second of capturing the beautiful and special stories. Carlie became a doula after experiencing birth with the support of her own doula and wanted to support women during such a transformational time in their life. Not only did her birth experiences inspire her to become a doula, but her postpartum experiences were another huge catalyst. After experiencing extreme postpartum depression and anxiety, Carlie helps parents prepare for postpartum and makes sure that they have the support that they need as they transition from pregnancy to postpartum. Carlie has taken many different trainings and educational courses, including DONA, spinning babies, advanced birth doula training, mindfulness birth doula training, VBAC link doula training, a trauma conscientious training, breastfeeding support training, and more. She is dedicated to providing the best support to all she serves. Well, thank you so much, Carlie, for being on here. I'm excited to jump in and chat all things here with you. And so, first question off the gates, and you kind of answer this in a little bit in your bio, but what made you decide to come and become a doula?
Yeah, it's whenever someone asks me that, it's really hard because I feel like there was little parts of each of my own experiences in becoming like a mother and like postpartum that kind of like attributed to that. But I think it was with my third baby, I had a doula. Um and I it was my first unmedicated birth, and it was also an induction. It was just like a lot of things at once, but I was able to have like this unmedicated induction with the support of a doula. And I remember just, I might tear up thinking about it, but just as soon as my baby was born and on my chest, I remember just saying, like, I did it, I did it, I did it.
Mm.
And like, what a different experience it was overall, from my first two births, and that like empowered feeling, the connection I had to my baby, feeling like I had someone in my corner through the process, and like overall just feeling more educated about the whole experience. And I was like, I want to bring like that feeling and that like badasseriness like to all women and parents, like
Yes.
feeling like, holy crap, I just did this amazing thing. And then, like, to go hand in hand with that, like, my postpartum experiences were very scary with my first two, especially. I was in the ER postpartum day 5 with my second because of depression and anxiety. And I don't want other women to, one, go through that because no one wants to go through that. But two, if they are going through that, to feel like they have someone in their corner that is non-judgmental, that's been there, and that has resources for them so they don't feel alone. Like there is a light or a hope, and that, they're not scared. And so like all of those things combined kind of was this catalyst of like, I want to be in the corner of these families, like encouraging, loving them, having like feeling like they have someone to trust. And so that was kind of like okay, it's time to jump in and be there for families.
Absolutely. So great. So great. And then next question, what makes you different?
Ooh, making me think about myself. I'm not one to like, oh, talk about me. I think the level of love and like friendship that I offer my clients, like I always joke with them, but in all seriousness, like you'll never get rid of me. Like once I'm your doula, like I would love to stay connected, forever. And um the very like deep emotional connections, I think that I have a lot with my clients. Some of my very first clients from 3 years ago, like we're still very connected and chat. I've had clients like come to my own baby showers and bring me meals postpartum. And when Jordan was in the NICU for his esophageal stuff, like so many clients, past, present, and, even like future, reached out with like places to stay and food. And so I just think like on that emotional level, I offer like a very deep connection if it's the right fit. And it like brings me so much joy to have those relationships.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all about relationships, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Who's an ideal fit for you?
I am a people person, so like really narrowing it down sometimes can be really hard, but I have kind of gathered my unicorn is I have like two. So one is like first time parents. I really love being able to be there for educational purposes, helping them feel like more confident, not only in like pregnant, like labor and birth, but helping them get ready for like postpartum. Like, what can you expect? Like, let's get you ready for breastfeeding. Like, here are all your resources, and kind of helping them feel so much more educated through the whole process. My second one that I like feel really passionate about as well is parents who are looking for healing, redemptive, like better experiences for a consecutive birth. And that's something that I had myself, and I feel very passionate about people having. So that's why I'm VBAC trained and trauma informed and have done a lot of training for that, because I really truly believe that you can have a healing experience no matter what kind of birth you have, whether it's like a repeat C-section or something. I feel like if you have the right support and education, that you can have a positive experience, even if things don't go necessarily as planned. And so that's kind of, I love offering that to parents.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay. What does the process look like to work with you?
Yeah, so first we do a free consult. I always offer a free consult, whether that's in person or virtual. And then after that, I'm there for you for your entire pregnancy via text, call, whatever you need to talk about, ask questions. I do two prenatals with my clients, usually in the third trimester, like early third trimester, where we go over education, birth preferences, comfort measures, breastfeeding, postpartum, kind of just get both parents ready to go. I teach, my goal too is to have dad be as involved as he wants to be. So I make sure that he's prepped and ready to go. And also, if he can't handle a lot of like the fluids and the blood and like the whole thing, then I'm prepared to kind of step in where he can't. So we kind of make sure we're like this cohesive team. Then I'm there for all labor and up to 2 hours after birth. I'm there to be in your corner, help support. And then postpartum, I usually do one postpartum visit in person where we get to like process your birth and chat about how things went. I'm there to answer any questions for like newborn care, that kind of thing. And then um, I do like a mental health check-in once a week for the first 6 weeks postpartum. And a lot of times that might be extended too, of sometimes down the road, I'll just check in. And a lot of my clients I follow back on Instagram, like through my person or my business account. And so I kind of get to watch babies grow up and watch my clients become parents. And it's really fun. So kind of you're stuck with me forever once you do that.
Okay, perfect segue into the next question, which is what does recovery look like, especially in your role in your ethos through that?
Yeah. So recovery looks a lot like I'm going to text you within that first 48 hours to see how you're feeling physically, how recovery is going, answer any questions. We actually prepare for recovery, and I'm actually writing like a postpartum prep course of like what to expect recovery wise. So during that second prenatal visit, we talk about like the night sweats and that first bowel movement and kind of like the tearing and how to like recover from tearing. We talk about like the 5-5-5 rules. A lot of midwives do like 5 days in bed, 5 days on the bed, 5 days around the bed. Um, Nursing, like breezy babies who will come right to your home to do lactation. And so we kind of prep them for all those recovery to make it as smooth as possible. Because I remember I prepped so hard for like birth, like labor and birth, that once postpartum hit, I was like, oh crap. Like I have no idea what's going on. And so that's kind of like a big deal of what I want to talk to my clients about. Like, what's your support look like? Do you have family around? Do you have like a meal train set up? Like what, and then dad, like how can you help mom as she recovers? Same with C-sections. Like I recommend this C-section recovery kit. I'm like, go see Betty, especially like even with a C-section, you need to go have some pelvic floor PT. And so, yeah, we do a lot of recovery prep that way. And then I'm there to answer questions too of like, hey, is this normal? I've gotten pictures. Like, is this, is this an okay thing? So just having them have a safe place to ask those questions, because I wish I would have had that. Because man, you have no idea what you're doing. No one talks about the night sweats or like a lot of those things. So
Okay. Okay. What's something that most people don't know that you think that they should know about? And it can be any nugget.
this is a one that I feel like people know maybe to a degree, but I don't think it's talked about enough, is that epidurals can fail,
Mm,
and that they're not fail proof. And I've seen it quite frequently, like for having only been to like 75 births, I've seen quite a few epidurals not take on both sides or like hot spots. And so even if you're planning on an epidural, I highly recommend that you mentally prepare for an unmedicated birth.
right.
I think everyone should just have that, like, okay, like even though I'd like an epidural, sometimes babies are born way too fast. I
Yeah.
had an accidental home birth and she was planning on an epidural. Like, you never know. And so it's very beneficial to prepare for that possibility,
Mhm.
because then it's not as a traumatic of an experience.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's it.
that would be my like nugget. It was like prepare to go unmedicated, even if you plan to not,
Right, right. Birth is unpredictable, right?
in all the ways.
In all the ways, yes. Okay. Do you have anything that you want, anything special you want to promote to the audience that's listening here?
So I am also a birth photographer,
Mhm.
which can be really helpful if someone wants like less people, but still want like a doula and photography. I am currently learning videography, and so I'm offering like a very discounted like rate for people who want a video and are willing to let me practice with their births.
Amazing. So cool. And then last question, my favorite question is, what do you want to be known for?
Oh man, I want to be known for, and it almost sounds like Michael Scott, like in The Office when he's like, I want, do I need to be loved? No. Do I want to be loved? Like, yes. But instead, like flip that. I want to be known for like the love and the relationships like I have with my clients for them. I want them to feel so like cared for, so loved, so supported. Like that's what I want to be known for, is like Carlie was in our corner. She loved us so much. Like we can't imagine like anyone else. Like just I just want to be that person for them.
Amazing. Where can we find you, Carlie? Website, social media?
Yeah. Website is simplysacredbirths.com. My Instagram is at simply period sacred period births. TikTok, I'm also not as active on there, but I got some fun stuff on there. It's at Simply Sacred Births. And then yeah, Facebook, you can just search Simply Sacred Births and I should pop up.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today and chatting through all the things. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Betty.